to talk about that.
Yes, and it's been a difficult decision for many people for many years. People are understandably reluctant to disclose that they have a mental illness at the interview because they suspect they may not get offered the job as a result. Then if they're offered the job, they feel uncomfortable disclosing when they've started the job, but they also feel uncomfortable not disclosing. And in fact, if they don't disclose, then they're not able to receive the support to which they're entitled. Starting a new job is one of life's greatest stressors, and having a mental illness is stress-related, so it's a bit of a toxic mix, and it's why creating disclosure-friendly work environments, such as social firms, are looking to transfer some of the strategies that are working well in social firms to other workplaces is a priority for us at SOFA. The benefits of disclosing are that you can then talk about your support needs. 1 in 5 is a statistic that everybody knows now. In fact, there are some people I've got back to work in years gone by where the individual chose to disclose, the manager, co-workers were very supportive. There were 200 people working in that workplace. And as a result of this woman disclosing that she had an anxiety disorder, and we were building in some supports, 4 or 5 other people worked out who she was and came out, and they developed a support group in the workplace. None of them knew that the other had a mental illness. There will be a lot of employers and co-workers who have a family member or are familiar with what it means to have a mental illness. So I think that the benefits are both that the person can get the support they're entitled to. There are supports and subsidies available from the government, and next month's webinar will talk in more detail on that. It does raise awareness amongst the broader population that having a mental illness doesn't mean you have to live a secluded life outside the mainstream, so it does help to break down stigma. And I think it is a good demonstration that people with a mental illness are very capable of working and need to get all the support they're entitled to. But it's not easy, and if you fear that there is misunderstanding and you might find that you offered another job or lose your job, it would be very difficult for people to contemplate, how and when and to whom. So what would be good is if general workplaces are proactive about communicating to their employees that they want to support all their employees. All of us are going to be vulnerable physically and mentally at different times in our lives, and if there is a way of employers making that clear, and I've often thought maybe if there was a notice board in the sort of occupational health and safety area that actually says, if you are struggling to do your job because of a mental illness, we want to support you. You can talk to one of our HR staff confidentially, or if you prefer not to talk to somebody within our organisation, here are some numbers of organisations outside this particular workplace who may be able to help, but we encourage you to seek help. We want you to be able to remain a productive member of our staff, to actually make it very clear that it's okay to have mental illness. It's normal to have mental illness, in fact.
Yeah.
I think also more generally it's just saying, mental illness is another type of illness, and other illnesses we generally not that concerned about other people knowing about, and our hope from the psychiatric side, I suppose, is that the stigma of mental illness will be more and more reduced, and eventually it will be like talking about any other illness.